Good afternoon. Heather Carter here from Nature Hills Farm. I am out in my hoop house today. I'm going to be planting some greens for a spring harvest, and I'm actually going to plant from seed. And I've already got the drip irrigation lines all set up and it's ready to go. The ground is pretty much ready to go as well. So I just thought that I would show you the difference between some pelleted seeds and a regular seed, and how I do an intensive plant for my greens so that I'm getting a whole bunch of them come up in a short or a small place, so that I don't have to weed as much. There is some thinning required in this system when I'm planting seed, especially. If we were just planting starts, little baby plants, we could space them far enough apart that we wouldn't have to go back in and do any thinning. The reason that I like to do seeds though are that it saves me a little bit of time. It doesn't necessarily save me money because I do just put a whole bunch of seeds out. But where I'm a little bit behind in my planting this year, and I have a lot of spaces to plant, I'm doing starts inside that I'll transplant later at the same time as I'm doing seeds outside in the hoop houses, which will be covered and they will start to grow. I will get some yield off of them, and then I can just I can transplant the seeds or the starts that I'm growing now as well, and get them going outside of the hoop house when it warms up a little bit more. So I'll have several different gardens going at once. So here we go. I have got, this is a Butter Crunch lettuce, and I am going to plant that. And then I also have a Red Ground Rapids lettuce, and this is the pelleted lettuce. And I'm just going to turn this a little bit now down onto the ground so you can kind of see what I'm doing here, and hopefully I can see what I'm doing here. Here's the the pellets versus the seeds. I have this all ready here, so I'm just gonna kind of, it is nice and wet, there's a lot of humidity in here. I'm just gonna spread that out a little bit. Now, strictly for my sake, I really like to do one color of lettuce down a row. So I'll do like a green down this row, and then I'm going to do like a purple down this row, and then a green. And that's just strictly for fun, for beauty's sake. I love it when my greenhouse fills up with, or my hoop house fills up with lettuces, and they're all different colors, and in a row it just looks pretty. So this is the Butter Crunch, and I'm just going to take some seeds in my hand here, and I just sprinkle these, and I go about 4 to 6 inches on each side, because that's where I know how far out the water will go. And you can see I do this quite thick, and then I'm just going to kind of go back and pack these down, put a little bit of dirt over it, not a ton, just a little bit. And like I said, this is really wet in here because we've been watering it, and there's a lot of condensation in here from a lot of heat during the day that's been sunny, so we have a lot of condensation. So I'm just going to do a little bit more, get these out of my hands, and then I'm going to show you with the pelleted. Now, the difference here with the pelleted is I can actually, pick these up a little bit better, and I can't do these with a glove on. I can the other seeds, but I can spread those out. So let's just go over here a little bit. So I'm just going to kind of spread these out a little bit more. Turn this a little more. And I can see, where I've got them too thick. And I can just kind of go in. Now, I don't spend a ton of time doing this, because for me, I can just go back in and I can thin these. And that takes me less time than sitting here spacing these exactly. Now, these I got from Johnny Seed, and I really like using Johnny Seed. They have organic seeds, they've got a good variety, but I also like Territorial Seed Company and Baker's Seed Company. They're a rare seed company and do mostly heirlooms, which I prefer to use. Even though I don't always collect my seeds, I have that option. Okay, so now that's done. And the same thing, I can just go through here and kind of pat these down. The ground is already really wet, so I just kind of do my good. Because they're lettuce seeds, they don't need to go very deep. It's not like a plant that needs to go a certain depth, and it's not like a beet or, you know, a squash seed or something that needs more depth. So even if I have a few of them up, I can just kind of watch those, and I can see like one, I got a little plant already right here germinating, probably a weed. We'll get rid of that. So there you go. We did the pelleted and the regular seed, and that's all that I'm going to do for right now to demonstrate for you. If you have questions, go ahead and comment below, and I'll try to get those answered.